Final preparations for harvest. Some of this fruit will be ready next week, while some will be harvested in the next few months. Welcome back to life at the farm.
Uyab, nagay ko kuhan, galawgaw. Mau lagi ng uyab ba, makapurdoy.
Taga sa imong uyab.
Secret! Ngita pa.
Yeah, let's find Kuya and Oyab. Let's do that. I'm back here. I've been here a couple of days. I don't know, my body is not... It's just very stiff and achy at the moment. I don't know what's going on with me. Must be the weather. That's what I'm going to blame. That's what everyone always blames, right? The weather. Everything is the fault of the weather. But I'm here to get some work done. These little improvised cannon things keep going off in the background every 12 seconds. Got some coconut milk, gonna cook some ginataang. Simple living in a complicated way. With tilapia and the chickens are... Kompleto man mga kwan, nani? Apil na cellphone. Bumaga ko. Daot. Ayo. Wag ko na pantay eh. Anak, para mahilak. All of this thrown straight into the pan with the tilapia. Spring onions joining to create this feast of colour. Nagtanam ka og sili sa kuan. Oh. We're just chucking in whatever we find because that's the joys of ginataang, as long as it's got coconut milk, which is packaged, but...
Bisaya, kolikot.
Kolikot. Oh, lahi man ko ang klase, no?
Chili, espada.
Espada?
Oh, chili, espada.
As well as the chili, it's time to add the coconut milk. Uy!
Tilaw. Utay ko lang.
Oh!
Okay. Kulang asin. Teman.
Dili lami kayo, ano?
Okay na. Sarap.
Sarap. Yan. Sarap ito.
Sarap ito.
Konyo. Lami. Yan. Masarap. Ni. O ikaw.
Ang kusinero kay si Steven Seagal. Purot kasol.
Kinang na kuhan. Kahoy na lang.
Mana, okay na ni.
Okay na?
Oo. Ito na siya. Hindi na talaga, wala. No.
Oops. Daot na. Sige, washing the rice. I'm gonna pretend that didn't fall on the table. Oh, here we go. Bit of that. Oh, it smells good. Bit of that. Bit of this, bit of rice. Simple but awesome flavour. Coconut milk is the best thing in the world, I'm telling you. It's the best. Wander up through the mud. This time of year is very, very, very wet. So we're going to actually make use of that, make use of the rain. And we're going to cut these, we're going to prune them. We want them to grow in a certain way, and we want to maximise how they're going to fruit in the future. Subscribe ya, eh?
Ano mo ka og...
Oh, grabe dako kaayo, eh?
Dagan kayo.
Oh. The rain also brings out these pests called ulod.
Pagamay.
Oh, napagamay, Anna. We're going to have to spray this again with... It's a very natural insecticide, but it just keeps them off. It kind of repels them. I think it's citronella based. It smells that way anyway. But they eat the leaves, they get on the fruit, they do all sorts of stuff. But that's one of the hardest challenges, especially when it rains a lot.
Ano ada kuha ang bus kay kanyad man ang iyang kuan sana.
Tapos sa tunga, no?
Para nga makita ang iyahang punuan.
Gamay rati ay.
Oh, gamay raman ang kuhaan kay para lang mahinlo ang iyahang punuan kanang dili mo abot ang iyahang kani kay kung mamunga ug di makuha diha sa yuta. Nya madaot man.
Mao good. Oo.
Kaning nakuha og sa lingsing mo turok naman po na mo sige anam ni kadako. Mo na nang iyang kuhaan mo utro tag kata sunod. Kanang mo dako na kay mo ana naman na.
Ano? Para magkuhan para malapad siya, dili siya mataas. Oo.
Una nga magkuha mi basta inani pa nga buota diha pagyud ka sa punuan. Kay pag dagko ni siya mang-ana ra man na mamunga, mang-ana ra ang salingsing ani diri na sa tunga magpabilin.
Kasi na dito Manila buwasikan.
Adto sa US.
Di ata California.
Pas matanaw sila o Calamansi dito. Kay baro na sila. Oh, maunita kang bunga, no? Selecting the right branches to cut is an art to ensure that future growth will be maximised. On some of these you'll put out to the middle as well. You'll cut from the middle sometimes, especially the new ones, the new sprouts. Salingsing. I can't even speak English this morning. Sometimes you'll get it there just so they'll spread outwards. So that's the aim, they spread outwards. And also you get from the bottom so they'll grow away from the ground a bit. So you're really trying to shape. It's a different technique at the moment compared to, let's say, if they're 5 years old. Sometimes you have to use a saw to really cut through the big branches then. But now, no, it's quick. And I've been advised that those worms called ulod need some stronger stuff. The farm is also right on the boundary of Agusan del Sur and, well, what was Compostela Valley, what's now called Daot. I'm going to cross over it and go over to Laak, since it's about 20 minutes away, and find that stuff that we spray for the worms, ulod. Oh, ano balik ko? Oo. Mangita ko kuan. Pamatay yung ulod. Ulod, oh. Oo. Akan ni maayo. Pamatay yung kuan. Ulod. Ayo, nindot man na, no? We need to spray early because we can't harvest fruit that's just been sprayed. It's another day. Take these orange ones off because if they rot on the tree it's not good for them, so we should take them off. There's not too many, thankfully. You know, we've had to cut some fruit down. No, that's not sayang because we're going to get even more fruit by cutting some of it. That's something that's very, very important in agriculture. It reminds me of these falcata trees. I think these have been thinned out, but they were planted at 4x4 meters. The thing is, they will drop new seedlings. If you leave it for too long, you don't cut them, they all grow, and then you have too many, and they're too small. They're competing for resources. That's the most important thing, is remembering that resources are finite in this world.
Hawa ang mga ulo.
Oh, what na? Just got this far to go. Got to do all that stuff over there now. They start at like 6 in the morning and they'll just keep going until it's done because they can't spray in the hottest hours of the day once it goes past 10 o'clock. I forgot what I was going to say. Hopefully that gets rid of the ulod. So we've mixed that one I bought yesterday. Then we've got the Active 32E, which is what I've always been using. It's a good insecticide because it's more natural. Sometimes you need a little bit more of other stuff. And then we've put some of the seaweed fertilizer in there because that's really for fruiting. Just do a bit of fruiting. I'm not focusing, of course, on fruiting yet because the plants still need to grow, but they should start to fruit. They've got to practice. That's the way it's been explained to me anyway. Oh, and we'll replant this soon. You see, we've done what we put sticks in on the lines, and that'll be where they plant. But tomorrow, another day, they're gonna do something there. They're going to do something called marcotting, and I'll show you that whole process. So we're going to prepare our own marcots, our own seedlings. I'm forgetting how to speak English again in the morning. That one there, when the landslide happened, was shifted out of its line, so we'll live with that. The survivors, the strongest losers. Don't know. May buntag. Oh, bumot ng sabaw. Oh, long life. Oh. Gabi sa buntag. Kuha, ni sa gani siguro. Hinamay.
Oh, ginamay nga
Ah,
kayo
ginamay.
baboy.
Baboy mana.
Mm.
Oh.
Hindi ka ng baboy.
Hindi kayo. Pero okay lang.
Itlog.
Kabon lang.
Itlog, atay.
Itlog atay, mag-atay.
Atay, atay
Ah,
sa manok.
Gula. Patong. Human ang Pasko ay.
Oy, wala pa oy.
Kuha, ni sige kung tawag anak, ginagmay. Gamay ba ang kuhan, no?
Kamay man ang hiwa.
Oh, mga kog sabaw. Bilan. Golden cutlery for royalty here. Vlog. Salamat sa sabaw. 2025 na, Demi.
Yes.
What like 2024? Work is done here for another day. Kani mangita ka o kuan pang marcots.
Itagkakuan ba?
Ako na nung kanayahan ko narong ngitag kub.
So dito ka butang ang kuan ang yuta.
Paugahon pa nimo niya paguman. Tangag yan.
Okay ba kuha og dakang sa isa ka punuan? Oo.
Tulodo ka ano?
Sa tunga. A few hours later, they brushed this growth stimulant, brilliantly named Anaa, onto the stems. Gatorade sa cobra. Before mixing black soil with humus and attaching it to the stem. Ay, mauna.
Pwede yung markotag lubi, boss.
Tako kayong salapin.
Lutuon pa man.
Ani mo, wag suman.
Lutuon pa man gudi unta ni.
Yeah, but this isn't final. This is just I asked them to do a sample because they're going to do this tomorrow when it really dries out, and they're going to use some of the better soil that comes from the bottom because it's black and it's wet and thick. It's different to this stuff, so it's better it's more fertile basically for the roots. Mixed with, of course, the humus and the anaa. I love the name anaa. Anaa. And then put on here like suman. It'll grow on the tree itself, and then when the roots come through, maybe after another month, the roots will be thick enough that we can plant it. They'll just cut it somewhere here, somewhere there, cut it in the soil, replant like that. So yeah, that's how marcotting works. I'm starting to notice there's a new next batch. They call them mongos. Like, you'd be happy when you see mongos right after you've sprayed. The mongos come through, which I don't know, I was reading this report yesterday from the University of Bangor in Wales, actually. They studied in La Union, where they saw that the best intercrop was actually the mongo beans, according to this, and some study in 1993, so it probably still is correct. I don't know if there's a big difference between the grafted and the marcot, but yeah, if you grow them in between. But that was for fully grown calamansi trees, so there we are. There's ideas for the future. I don't know, hopefully this video's been interesting. Hopefully it's not totally boring. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over and over again, but hopefully it explains something, and hopefully the explanation's been clear enough. I hope so. I really hope so. So here we are for the next few, I don't know, be here for a while now. I'm glad of this big Bluetti power bank as well. It's still running, and it saves my life every time I want to work here. It'll also help. I do need to build a little packing house. I would probably do that not before the first harvest, probably before the second. Like a big dryer, and then with the big electric fans I can plug them into that battery. It'll be handy, just in case there's a wet harvest, a rainy day harvest. But we should be okay for now. We'll see. There's not that much fruit yet. Of course, it's not going to be instant success. It never is. There is no such thing as instant riches. But it's starting, and that's what I like. It's a new phase is beginning, I guess, because I don't know. I've enjoyed the travelling and the documentary side of things as well. I really enjoy doing that, but it seems right now that it's not. I don't know. It seems like it's not the time. It's difficult and very expensive as well at the moment. Hotels, but no, we'll do this instead. Do this one instead. Travelling won't go away entirely. It's just going to be much more local again. Sa tawag ni?
Duyan.
Doyan.
Duyan.
I'm with the biggest loadie of all, Mr. Ruben, and we're going down the Doyan towards Agusan. Possibly the least relaxing hammock in the world, this is the first light trail I did after installing the Old Man Emu suspension, and it's certainly borne the brunt of recent weather. Guten ba? Guten ba? Allah.
Isa ka vlogger ng Amerikano.
Piki, Amerikano sir, Piki. Amerikano mansaka ba?
Lechon sa'yo sa buntag.
Dali ka.
Ay! Allah.
Biro ko
Sige daw. Oh!
May
Guten ba?
pastila kompleto.
Laka!
Paborito ni Kumander.
Oh! Alas 7 sa buntag.
Ay,
Tira.
guwapoy mo ni kape.
Oh,
Ni kape ni Kumander.
Minam din siya.
Mr. Sunglass. Allah! Okay, the beer's for later. The beer is for later, not for now. 7:30 in the morning. This is the way that was blocked last time we came by a landslide. It goes all the way to Agusan. There's a road that cuts through from Pantukan to Agusan. When this is complete, it's going to be very, very handy. And oh, it's steep. And then we had to go up the other side, which turned out to be the easy and most beautiful part. Most of this road going up to Agusan now is concrete. Ever since we crossed over that river, most of it is. Part of it's still trail, but this is the kind of trail I like. It's fun. You can tell the rain has taken a big toll on it, and it's really like washing out some bits. In this truck, no problem. I'm just thinking about it, remembering if I was taking a motorbike down it, I might be a bit more scared, but this is fine. We were still in Pantukan there, but this road really does go into Agusan, and I haven't been here for like 2 years. Down on this flat plain, full of bananas, even more than I remember, and surrounded by mountains on all sides. I miss this place. It's kind of magical. Agusan's cool climate is also perfect for growing vegetables, and every Sunday, farmers bring their produce to the main road. Ay hinog na ay kuan. Hilaw. Hilaw. Oo. Tag 15. Na ay bugato eh. Oo. Kada adlaw mo di ba? O kuan Sabado lang o Domingo lang. Domingo lang. Mao na. Sa kuan. Duga-duga ko sa Davao. Oo. They've painted the sign. I'm so happy. The sign has a new look. Welcome to Agusan. It has. It's been 3 years, I think, since I was last here, which is crazy. Agusan. Oh, St. Vincent. At the base of one of the mountain ranges is another place I can reminisce. Kinilaw in the mountains. It's inappropriate, but very, very, very appropriate. Let's have a look at these falls again. I wonder how they're flowing this year after lots of rain. Oi! In it! Allah! The spray's pretty strong, I think it is flowing a lot quicker. Of course the flow's fairly constant because it's from the forest, but it's pretty solid. Oi! So close to home. I forgot how much peace I feel up here as we backtrack through this beautiful part of the world. Hilux.
Ay, Lax.
Jacob sa barangay na Plapan.
Hanap. Kuan, mabagusan. Pero kuan, di kami pantukan kanina. Oo, paano pa? Kuan, babalik lang. Oo. Kanahan ko imong kuan, bungot. Anak, kayo. Okay, kayo.
Sir, kami mamraig may musakay media, kana crossing lang. Adi apa?
Pwede ba? Breaking through the fog, dangerous beauty once more. That road over there is where we came from. You saw it's kind of knee deep, actually, that water, that crossing, and I think the real question, of course, is how does this stuff perform long term? All of this. So we went on the trail that I first took it on, and even though the trail's ripped up, it still feels the same. The suspension's doing well. The old man Emu really, really good. The tyres, I had a few comments saying, they easily get worn. So these have done 40,000 kilometres, and they've worn, well actually they've worn a bit slower than my last few sets of all-terrain tyres. This kind of pattern does, in my experience, wear quicker than the highway tyres. And they don't last long on these roads anyway, especially the concrete. The concrete just seems to rip them apart. So, yeah, they're still there, but what, 25% tread or something like that? And these, I'll show you this as well. I don't know if I've curbed them or I don't know. They've been curbed a few times. It just takes the coating off, but the metal itself, the alloy itself, is still totally intact. So. Pretty good going. Actually, I'm very happy with this and how it does perform long term. It's solid stuff. It's really solid stuff. So happy about this. That of course it was set up by Gears ARB in Manawi Street, Quezon City. The street with all of this kind of stuff is there. All these car parts are there, but they have ARB stuff, and it's top drawer.